Everybody, Elaine back here again, and I promised you a little bit of an update on the little pots that I was making out of newspaper, and including coffee grounds and wood ash. Okay, you've already seen the results of the ones with just the plain newspaper. I guess I better show the other hand, it might be easier. Okay, they will hold soil just great, no problem. Now these guys, this one seems to be okay. The only reason that it's a different color is because, of course, it has the wood ash and the coffee grounds in it. However, they do not seem as sturdy as the other ones. Look at this. It comes apart so easily. So I don't honestly think that it would be a good idea to include your wood ash and your coffee grounds in the making of these. It would probably just be best to stick with your newspaper and put your coffee grounds and your ashes, mix them in with the ground rather than try to mix them in with these guys. It was just an experiment to see. So, anyway, there are other ways that you can use these, the ones made with the newspaper. You can put a little hole in the bottom, like, maybe about an inch around. And, okay, let's see here. We'll take another one just for the fun of it. And I'm going to break this apart, and this is going to be more or less your soil, shall we say. Figuratively speaking, this is your soil right now. So you put a hole in the middle of this guy, about an inch around. Plant your seed, and put that right on top of the soil. And that way, when your seeds come up, cutworms are not going to be able to get in there very darned easily, and your plant will still be able to come up through the top. And by the time it comes up through the top, you're not going to have any problem with cutworms because your stalk or your stem is going to be too tough for cutworms to chew through. So that's just another use you might have for these. If you make too many and you don't use all of them, you can use them for that. Like I say, cut a hole through the top, let your plant come through. It'll work wonders for you, and it will feed your soil at the same time because, well, with the newspaper, like I mentioned yesterday, it does come from wood. Now, this is another thing that you might want to do. I believe I mentioned on one of the first shows that I put on, is toilet paper roll. Assuming that this is your soil again in the pot, you might want to do that with it. Put that into the soil, let that sit, let your plant come up through, and of course by the time your plant comes through, it's going to have a nice tough stalk. Its stem will be too tough for cutworms to get through. This really goes well, especially for your tender plants such as tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, things like that. When they're really early starting, quite often that's when cutworms will love to get them. Don't give them a chance. Don't give them that chance, nah. Because they're not worth it. I mean, darn it, your gardening efforts are well worth it. So if you can prevent cutworm attacks, by all means, use any method that you need to do it. And this does work. I've tried it before. It does work. It does wonders. So just grind it into the top of your soil a little bit, enough so that your cutworms can't burrow down under. Cutworms love to go straight across and nibble as they go. This way, they're not going to be able to do that. Okay, so I was seriously thinking of trying an experiment with making paper pots and using some flour to mix in, but then I thought, that might not be too good an idea because it'll be more or less like glue when it starts to dissolve. And that's not going to help your garden any. So no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with the newspaper and the water, form them on that, leave it at that. So folks, I just wanted to let you know that's the results of this experiment. I wanted to pass that on to you. I do honestly feel that it would be a waste of your time if you put your wood ash and your coffee grounds in with the mix. I would advise strongly, just use the paper and the water and you should be just fine. There was something else I was going to mention, and darn it, it's almost slipping my mind. Come on, mind, think. Oh, I hate it when this happens. However, we all make them, so I might as well own it. That's my mistake. But anyway, I'll probably think of it the minute that I sign off, and by then it'll be too late. So, oh well, we'll just have to do it on another show. But yeah, we're going to have some fun this spring, I think, folks. We're definitely going to have some fun. And if you get a chance, please, if you wouldn't mind, look into my Facebook pages. There's a couple of pages I've got on there. One is Elaine's Gardening and Cooking channel, which of course corresponds with this channel. There's also another page called Gardening Tips, Tricks, and Methods. If you'd look in on that, I would really appreciate that too. Consider joining. I'd love to have you. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert by any means. Please don't take this the wrong way, because no, that would sound pretty darned arrogant of me to say that I'm an expert when I'm not. But I've gardened for a great number of years, and I've learned an awful lot since I have started gardening. And I just wanted to pass some of the information along if I can. If you wouldn't mind, once you view these videos, please give them a like. If you would, give them a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It would give me a lot of encouragement, too, to keep on going. If you would subscribe to my channel, I'd love that, too. So, and, of course, I'm still trying to support a couple of good friends of mine in the States. And their channel is Hollis and Nancy's Homestead. They have a fantastic channel. Their shows are put on far more professionally than mine are. Mine are just like amateur, spur-of-the-moment kind of a things. But then again, you know, as I say, I'm no expert. Now, those people, Hollis and Nancy, they are expert gardeners. They're really great. And they're very encouraging. They're very kind people. And also, they have cooking videos as well as their gardening. So I'm kind of hoping that you'll give them a visit. And again, like I mentioned before, tell them Elaine sent you. After all, I want them to know that we are good friends, and I would love very much to have more and more people go to their page as well. So please, folks, if you will, give us a like, subscribe to the group, and join us on our Facebook channel as well. Okay, so that's it for today. Another short show, I know, but believe me, I did warn you in a few other videos. Once we get outdoors and start the videos going there, they're going to be a lot longer. Be prepared. In the meantime, happy gardening. Bye.